right? 2022. Hours away. So many things I'd like to change. I don't know. Look, you can tell our team have a sense of humor. I'd like to add more vegan food to my diet. You know that. That's just. What is the matter with you, Gilpri? Add more push ups to my routine. Yes, I'm doubling it to try and get rid of that 7 pounds I put on in 7 days. It's like I told the boy this morning that we're 200 press ups and 200 sit ups every day for the month of January. And a lot more water. We need to drink more water and not just the liquid that comes in brandy or what comes with the coffee. We need more water, the original superfood. Right, but do these resolutions we'll all be making ever work? Will we just carry on sponsoring the gym as we do at the beginning of every year? Life coach Dr. Rakish Rana is here to help. You've got a lot to untangle here, Rakish.
Hello, Eddie. How are you doing?
Well, I've been better, but I'm all right. I'm all right. We're gonna make it through to the end, I think, right? 80% of people, by the way,
Yeah.
Doctor, abandon New Year's Eve resolutions by the end of January. What's that about? And do you have them even yourself?
Well, it's a statistic that's bandied around that 1st of February is that drop dead date. And there's a number of reasons why people don't follow through is because they're just not well thought out originally. And I think people just jumping on this bandwagon of wanting to do something and not really carefully planning it.
Yeah, but it's a reset. It's an automatic reset, though, isn't it? Like your birthday. It's a reset.
It is, but it comes about with you may have a goal. Here we go. You talked about water, drinking water. So it's very easy to say, I'm going to drink more water. But unless you put a plan in place on how you're going to drink more water, you won't do it. Because everybody knows what's good for them. But until they put something in place to allow that to happen, it doesn't happen. For example, I'm sitting here with a 1 litre bottle that I fill up every day, filling up regularly throughout the day. So that's my way of drinking more water. If I didn't have it there, no will would make me go downstairs to go and fill up water and, sip at it or something. So you need the mechanism there to do it.
So the mechanism to hold yourself accountable.
Yep, that's it. But putting a plan in action, but also measuring your progress. So, I try and get through 3 bottles of water a day. So, there's my measurement. I'll drink one by midday, one by mid-afternoon, and one by the evening. So
Can I do it with coffee? Can I do it with coffee in it?
Limit your coffee, though.
I just can't. I can't. I love it. I'm addicted. My name is Eddie,
I'm there as well.
My name is. I have one. I have one before I leave. As I wake up, I have one. I have one as I get in, and then I have about by 2 o'clock. I've had one an hour, and I just like that's 5 or 6 cups. It's too much, isn't it?
It is. I mean, coffee, they say, can be good for you. However, it's depending on the time of day, because in the end, it's going to impact your sleep. So if you're not getting a good night's sleep, that's when you then start struggling for the rest of the day.
Sleep's overrated, isn't it? So more water, more sleep, and we need to hold ourselves accountable. So what I did at the beginning of last year, and it lasted till about April, it was really, really good. So every day I would write, and not everyday things like, have a shower, shave, wash the dishes, all the normal stuff that you do. But 4 things that I know I need to do. I phone and apologize to the producer of my show, or I don't know, tidy up one corner, stack the books in the bookshelf, buy some more. Just something that would move it on. Is that the sort of thing you're talking about? How do we put the plan into action?
Well, first of all, creating the environment, I'd say as well. So once you've created that plan, so for example, you want to run every morning. You create the plan. Look, this is the route I'm going to do. This is the time I will get up. But, people still fail at doing that. So when I say create an environment, what I mean by that is get your kit out the night before. Make sure that when you're waking up and you're tired, you don't have to think. So it's almost like you need to be able to make those difficult decisions easy. And you can only make those easy by creating the right environment. So you need to take all thought processes out of the way. It's literally just getting up, the kit's there, you're putting it on, and you're just moving. So create the environment.
You say environment, and I accept that. I'm just wondering about language here. I've
Hmm.
found that it's really easy for me to fall into kind of patterns,
Hmm.
habits. And, I know if I go to the gym, I'm less likely to have them 8 chocolate biscuits because I know that it's about 80 calories in each of one of those biscuits. And I know what I have to do to lose 600
Hmm.
calories in a gym. And it's not nice, it's very painful. So the habits, how do you create a habit or a pattern, whatever you want to call it? Is it just about environment? Is it preparation? Is it thought? Is it, if you're talking about losing weight, is it finding somebody to buddy up with?
Yeah, I mean, so when we talk about environment, that's true. Having a plan is also true, but also you need to be able to measure that progress, but starting slow as well. And I always say this, that when you have a bad habit, for example, you don't stop the bad habit. You can't because it's there. What you need to do is replace it with a good one or one that's more beneficial. So it's finding out what that habit would be. And James Clear talks about this. He wrote a really great book about habits, and he calls it habit stacking. And what we mean by that is what you need to do is figure out something that you do regularly anyway, say, for example, brushing your teeth, and follow it up with something that you want to make into a better process or a good habit. So you brush your teeth, and immediately, we talked about push-ups, I'm going to do 10 push-ups as soon as I've brushed my teeth. And that's habit stacking. It's about doing something that you want to do on top of something that you do automatically already.
That's really interesting. I did read something the other day that said people who had mild, low level, whatever it is, addictions, if they manage to defeat that, then usually they would adopt another thing in its place. Have you
Correct.
heard? Have you heard that? Does that make sense to
It
you?
is. I mean, the reason you have a habit, or say, for example, a habit that's not beneficial to you, you're still getting those dopamine hits, or you're getting that pleasure coming out of it. So you need to be able to replace it with something else. It's the whole sensation of cigarette smoking or eating excessively. In the end, it's making us feel better, those moods. But it's been shown that exercise can give us, those mood chemicals in just as much quantity
There's
as
nothing.
a chocolate bar.
Sorry. Let me just tell you. There's nothing that improves my mood better than being able to tuck my shirt into my trousers. That
Uh-huh.
no, I mean, I'm using it as a metaphor, but it means
Yeah.
that I'm not like the Americans who do it anyway. I mean, it means that I feel like I'm slim enough to do it. It
Hmm.
makes me feel better. It makes me feel healthier, stronger,
Of
and the
course.
like. But the other things are a kind of the chocolate, the Mars bar, the galaxy, the all those things are a kind of an immediate gratification, aren't they? And they're
Of course.
very, very Moorish.
Of course, but well, one thing we need to understand when we set these New Year's resolutions or these goals, that it needs to be long term. There are no overnight successes. You're not going to achieve it straight away, so you need to make it realistic and understand that what, I've got a goal. It's going to take me 6 months, a year,
Yeah.
but these are the mile markers. This is what I expect in a month's time or a week's time, and not to be too hard on yourself. And it's about enjoying that process, enjoying the journey, and the goal will look after itself.
That is really important because I think that we're in a world, what I call the microwave world now, where people don't want to save for stuff. The
Hmm.
attention span is a lot shorter. And it's almost like we want that immediate gratification. So you're on a diet for one day and you expect to now be
Exactly.
that. Yeah, it is that, isn't it? So give yourself week, month goals in order to assess any improvement change that you might have made.
No, exactly. And I think I've spoken to you in the past about my own journey last year, and it took me a period of 9 months to lose 24 kilos. But I knew that it was going to take me a long time to do that because I had it to shift.
Did you have to think about what it was about? Okay, do you don't mind? We'll do it with it to each other. Is that all right, Rakish?
Yeah, of course.
Because what I would think, and what I did think with my weight, is what was going on to make me put that weight on in the first place. Because it clearly, I could see it going on, and it clearly was making me more unhappy. And clearly, then the more unhappy I became, is is, is the
Yep.
more is the more I ate. So that circle. Did you ever go back and kind of analyze the heavier Rakish to see what happened there?
Of course. I mean, an immediate excuse was the third lockdown we all went through, back in 2020 to 2021. So, there was all sorts of things going on. There was work. There was, you can make all sorts of excuses, but in the end, it was my decision. It was my decision to get to that state, but then it was also my decision to get back out of it. And it's those reflections,
But
that
is
awareness.
it? So sorry for interrupting you. It's not a decision to make yourself fat. It isn't that's not a decision. The decision is to do something about it. But
Of course.
sedentary lifestyle, I don't know, immediate gratification, all those things take you to that place. That's not a plan. I didn't want to get to journey fat. I didn't want to get to 38 waist, 29 inside leg. I didn't want to get to balloon. I didn't want to get there.
Nobody plans to get there, but you're right. But it's making a conscious effort to do something about it, to get out of it. And again, there's external triggers. There's family members telling you, you don't look good, or that's dangerous for you. Then there's friends. But then there's also people that are similar ages that are getting illnesses, passing away maybe. And that was definitely the trigger for me. And it's like, well, hold on, I've got a long life ahead of me and I don't want it to be detrimental in any way. So I needed to do something about it. And again, I had my own coach. So it was also having that person that held me to account. So I didn't do it all on my own. And that's a mistake people make too. And again, being a coach, I'm a big proponent of it. You need somebody there that's going to help you through that journey. It's very easy to give up when you're on your own, especially when things get too hard. You need somebody that's going to champion your cause.
But I'm a big fan of stories and journeys. Often I tell people, you haven't told me that story properly. Just go back and tell me the detail of it. And has it made you a better life coach, the journey?
It has, in a way, because what it's done, it's cemented my own processes. So as I was going through it, I could understand what my clients would be going through in terms of their own professional, when I'm coaching through a professional basis. So there were so many analogies when I was working with my coach in terms of the fitness. We would talk about the analogies within sport, within business. So for me, it was a reflective piece, almost like, yes, I know what I'm doing because do you know what? I do this for a living. So it was easy for me to apply it to myself.
Just give one message to anybody, and I think we all do, don't we? I'm going to do physical things later on, but with you, I'm doing the mind to the physical. Just give a message to anybody listening who is thinking of refocusing come 2022.
Start small. The main thing is to start, but to start small. We can become overwhelmed with all these big goals that we want to achieve, but be realistic. Start small, see the progress, and that will give you the confidence and motivation to keep going.
Thank you, Rakish. I wish you a very, very happy new year. Quickly, the game that you played, either as a family or as a child, please. I'm building up my list.
Monopoly.
You're a capitalist swine. I'm probably taking advantage of the younger members like I do. That's a game designed to cause problems in my house. Thank you very much, Rakish Rana there, life coach.